You are being watched. At this very moment, as you listen to these words, invisible algorithms catalog your tastes, your fears, your most intimate desires. You believe you are connected to the world, but in reality you are being sucked into a void that disguises itself as fullness. Welcome to the digital swarm, where millions of individuals move like blind bees, producing bitter honey called data. German philosopher Byung-Chul warned us, we no longer live in a society, we live in a swarm, and the difference is terrifying. Imagine, for a moment, the last time you scrolled through Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. How many faces passed before your eyes? Hundreds, thousands. Now tell me, can you remember any specific face, any name, any story that truly touched your soul? Probably not, and this isn't your fault. It's the nature of the swarm. We are millions of luminous dots blinking on a dark screen, appearing and disappearing without leaving a trace, without creating true bonds, without forming a real collective identity. Han discovered something disturbing. Social media promised to connect us, but transformed us into digital ghosts. Every like, every share, every comment is a desperate cry into the void. I exist. See me, validate me. But in the swarm, everyone screams at the same time, and the result is merely noise. Think about the crowd on the streets of a big city. When people take to the streets to protest, to celebrate, to demonstrate, they form a collective body. There are recognizable faces, there are leaders. There is a common cause that unites different individualities into a singular force. There is identity. Now compare this to a trending topic on Twitter, millions of people talking about the same subject, but where is the leadership? Where is the direction? Where are the faces? It's just a swarm of loose words, fragmented opinions, scattered anger that evaporates within hours. Han realized that the digital swarm has a disturbing characteristic. It doesn't produce a we. In the physical crowd, you can look to the side and recognize an ally, a companion in the cause. In the digital swarm, you are eternally alone, surrounded by millions of other lonely people who also believe they are connected. Listen to these sounds. They are the digital shackles of the 21st century. Each notification is a small dose of dopamine, a promise of connection that never truly fulfills itself. We are addicted to the illusion of belonging, but what we actually experience is sophisticated isolation. The swarm has three characteristics that make it profoundly different from a traditional crowd. First, the absence of face. In the physical crowd, even in anonymity, there are real bodily presences. In the digital swarm, we are avatars, profiles, usernames. Our humanity is reduced to pixels and algorithms. When someone attacks you on social media, they're not attacking a person, they're attacking a digital abstraction. Second, the lack of permanence. The physical crowd occupies space, has weight, leaves marks. The digital swarm is volatile like smoke. A subject that mobilizes millions today will be forgotten tomorrow. There is no construction of collective memory, no historical continuity. Third, the absence of organizational hierarchy. In the crowd, natural leaders emerge, spokespersons, organizers. In the swarm, everyone is equally irrelevant. There is no center, no periphery, just organized chaos managed by platform algorithms. Perhaps you're thinking, but I have friends on social media, I feel connected. Han would say this is precisely the most dangerous illusion of the swarm. You don't have friends, you have connections. You don't have relationships, you have interactions. You don't have community, you have network. The difference is subtle but revolutionary. A friend is someone who knows your vulnerability and still chooses to stand by your side. A connection is someone who likes your photos when they're happy. A relationship involves commitment, mutual growth, constructive conflict. An interaction is a smiley emoji in a comment. The most frightening thing is that we are losing the ability to form real collective identities. Observe the social movements of recent years. They emerge strongly on social media, mobilize millions, create hashtags that dominate trending topics, and then disappear. Not because the problems were solved, but because the swarm cannot sustain focus and organization long enough. Han warns us that this is not just a sociological issue, it's an existential crisis. Human beings are social animals who have always defined their identity through the group to which they belong. We are children, parents, teachers, Americans, fans, believers. Our identity is always relational, but in the swarm, these collective identities fragment. You are no longer an American, talking with other Americans about America's problems. You are an anonymous profile reacting to algorithmic content that may or may not relate to your reality. Do you remember the feeling of belonging to something greater than yourself? Of being part of a community that knew your name, your story, your dreams? The digital swarm promised to expand this feeling globally, but what it did was completely pulverize it. Now we belong to everything and nothing. Simultaneously, we are citizens of the world who don't know our neighbors. We have thousands of followers who wouldn't follow us even to the corner. We are part of groups with millions of members where our individual voice is statistically irrelevant. Hutton doesn't offer us easy solutions because the problem is too complex for that. We can't simply turn off the internet and go back to the 19th century. Digital technology is irreversible, but we can choose how we relate to it. The first step is recognizing the illusion, understanding that likes are not real approval, that viral doesn't mean important, that trending doesn't mean true. The digital swarm is a powerful tool, but a tool that is using us more than we are using it. So, as you listen to this, conduct a mental experiment. Think of the 5 most important people in your life. Now tell me, when was the last time you had a deep and meaningful conversation with each of them? Without digital distractions, without multitasking, without the constant anxiety of checking your phone. If the answer is I don't remember, you already know where the swarm has captured you. The digital swarm is the faceless crowd of our time. We are millions of people screaming in a digital echo that distorts our voices until they become unrecognizable. We have lost the ability to form true collective identities because we settle for the digital simulation of connection. Byung-Chul Han shows us that it's not about rejecting technology, but about recovering our humanity within it. About finding ways to create real faces in a world of avatars. About building genuine collective identities amid the chaos of the swarm. The question that remains is, will you continue being just another luminous dot lost in the swarm, or will you choose to seek the face behind the screen? The swarm continues buzzing, but now at least you know you're inside it.